Hey Raz, how's it going? Hey Hangerbird. Yeah, we just started. We're going to be working on some booties tonight. Get everything set up. Just pulled the stuff out of the fridge that's frozen. What's that, Raz? Hangerbird, I use filler, Duplicolor filler primer. I'll get a bottle and show you. No, I didn't see that, Raz. I haven't had a chance to check out the Patreon page. I've just been working like crazy this week. So it's reversed where it's zipped from the bottom up. So Hangerbird, this is Duplicolor adhesion promoter. So this is like a clear spray. So say you just want to paint over a sideshow statue or a Bowen statue and you don't want to strip it down, you could spray it down with this and then paint over it. It's just a clear like bonding coat, so you can use that. But whenever I customize, I use my primer filler gray. So you see my items here are always like gray. So I use that for customizing because this primer works great for layering and sanding. It dries really fast. I use the red oxide color for garage kits. So if you ever see me painting a kit and you see this color, it's just like a regular garage kit that I'm just painting up. Because this goes on really smooth, and I don't really like to sand this color too much because it seems this comes out smooth, but the dust is red dust everywhere. This comes out a little bit more, not smooth as this, but when I sand with this, it's easier because when I customize, I could see my red aves over the gray. So it's easier to use the gray on my customizing items. So this is what I use for primer. Hey, what's up, Iceman? So Raz, you said that the zipper is opposite, so instead of it zipping down, it zips up. I was thinking it zips downwards. Well, we can make it, you know, I didn't see what the patrons have it voted yet. Because usually when you have a zipper, you know, for like a pull-up, it's always from down to up. So I would think that it would be down to up anyway, but like I said, it's Harley, we could do whatever we want for it. I forgot, what was winning in the poll anyway? Last time I checked, it was a open zipper. Let me take a look real quick. Yeah, I see it's zipped from the top down. Well, we could always just do whatever we want for this one, so it's not the end of the world. Hey, what's up, Scott? Hopefully I can sculpt. I actually jabbed a metal piece underneath my fingernail, my index finger, so if I dip it in the safety solvent, it burns. But let's see what I can do. Hey, how's it going, John Arts? I think we'll let the pole go a little bit longer, and then we'll figure it out. I think once I get her booty done in the back, we'll kind of finalize it. But I'll kind of go over some of the stuff I got ready already. I'm doing good. Nice cool day today. It's like fall today. It's crazy. It's like 60 degrees out. I got jeans on. So just kind of enjoying the weather a bit. Alright, so Harley. What I did so far. Eric? No, I'm still on Picardo. Picardo I do during the weekdays when I am actually sitting at my desk doing something. But a lot of time during the weekdays I'm up and I'm in the garage, I'm back on my desk, I'm in the garage, I'm back on my desk, so it's kind of hard for me to stream. But if there's something I'm streaming, like painting all day long, I'll pop on Picardo. But Fridays is always YouTube stuff. Where is the marker? Alright, so what I did is where the underwear would go here, what I did is I sort of chopped it up a bit. So what I'm going to do is, after I do the Psylocke one, what we'll do is we'll kind of create a little bit of a bump going in this week, you know, where this part of the booty is. And then next week, what we'll do is we'll work on the wrinkles of the underwear. So this way it'll look like it's squeezing her booty. You can probably see it from that angle, what I'm trying to do. Probably can't see it from that one too well, but definitely can see it from there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to work on this side, and then maybe what I'll do is I'll just work on the undies here too as well. And then once I get this part done and I sand this down, we work on the underwear there, then we can start doing the outfit. But if by next stream this part wins with it opened, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this sort of cut up a bit too, and we're going to kind of squeeze this area in here as well, so it'll look tight in here. But so what I did with Psylocke is I went ahead and I chopped all this up because this whole part was not even. And I chopped up around in here and I chopped up around there. And I added A's and glue and everything, so I got these pieces set up. So what I'm going to do right now is work on this booty part. And I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do underneath here. I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking of adding a little something here to make it look like armor blending into this part here. I'll figure that out later. So we're going to do the same thing with this. Right now I'm going to sort of create the booty, but since I cut it up a lot, maybe I could kind of create the squeeze here as well once I get this lined up. Like I said, I'm going to have to probably wear gloves because I stuck one of these tools right underneath my nail by accident, and now every time I hit A's safety solvent, it burns like hell. And I always use this finger too. Alright, so this is just a brass rod. So I got a little bit of a spot here, so we're gonna throw some eaves in here. This was a hole here for the, I think it was for the sash. So I just went ahead and drilled through it. Let's see if we get some eaves in here. the only thing about sucks wearing a glove is I can't really feel all the liquid that's on the glove, so I'm getting it all over the item. So I hate about wearing gloves. Alright, so since I'm not using much eaves, pull this off. Alright, so let's start the booty line. So this knife, or what's the other one? I'll have to use my other finger for sculpting now. Now there was a little bit of a weird casting thing here with the underwear connected to the skin, so I pretty much chopped that area out. So I just gotta kind of rebuild it a bit. Well, it wasn't a casting thing, it was the way they cut it for production. When you mix age fresh, and you have if you mix it with the safety solvent, it's soft enough that a soft brush that I use will push it around. So you really don't need to have a super stiff brush. But as the eaves gets stiffer over time, then it becomes a nightmare to use. Hey, raccoon. So since I mixed up a lot of A's, I'll be able to use that for the other stuff I'm working on. Yeah, it just sucks that I'm going to lose some of this texture, but I'm going to create something else for it, so it should work out when I'm done. Hopefully when I do her sash, that'll hide a lot of this mess up areas between the texture and A's. So that should work out okay. Just gotta get the shape down. Hey Chris, how's it going? Yeah, Friday is always a good day. It's like fall here for us already. 2 days ago it was like 85 and now it's like 60 out. Yeah, always got stuff going on. Got it. Can't stop. Always got stuff to go, get done. Yeah, it's I was actually in the garage. That's kind of why I was late streaming, getting a lot of this stuff sanded up, and I was working on some other stuff. I figured while it was nice out, let me do some chopping. Plus, I've been painting all week, so I figured just enjoy this weather some. Alright, so you kind of see the shape I'm building up here. This was sort of the shape the statue had before, but with the way this piece was connected to here, it was like really up high and weird looking. So I just got more of a slope going down now. So what I want to do is, I want to create the, like I said, the bumps from the outfit to the booty. So I don't want a super thong like I had before, like the statue had. I want to go more lighter. So not this one, but actually let's use this tool. Kind of give myself a line. So I don't want a thong, but I don't want super crazy official bathing suit. So we're gonna kind of do a little bit of an in-between. So what I'm thinking of doing is we're gonna follow this line here. Come down. I should remember where I cut it. Probably gotta come in a little bit more. So I'm thinking down this way. Yeah. And then we're gonna follow the same line over here. I know a lot of the guys like Jim Lee and some of the other artists give her like a crazy thong. I don't want to do that. Sort of a smaller, but not too crazy. I mean, it's going to get sanded down and tweaked a bit, so that'll work. So then we grab our next tool, or this one. So kind of go where the outfit is, sort of cut it. Alright, so now that we got that, let's start like trying to the front of her is probably going to get tweaked at a different point in time. Kind of hard to do both of them at the same. Here, I think this one will work. Slowly getting there. I missed the cut on this one. Yeah, I just didn't put enough A's there. The only thing that sucks with doing this is sometimes the A's doesn't really smooth out completely even. So it's going to be a little messy till I kind of sand it down. When I sand down, depends on what I need. If it's really rough item that I have to grind out, I'll use like 80 grit. But if it's something I just gotta kind of get it smooth, anywhere from 120, 220, 100. 400 is just way too fine. I just buy sandpaper at Home Depot that are in those large packs, the purple sandpaper. But when I want to smooth it out, I use my 3M foam stuff that I get, and I cut it in little pieces. Actually, if this works out, I might add the wrinkles now, which I might just do. Yeah, so I large area, so if I like have to like sand this down, I have like this is I think 220, 225. This is a little bit finer. Then there's also a like 150. So you can actually like sand this part down, and then when you get over into the line work, if you don't want to destroy your line, you can use the foam and kind of work it in there. It all depends on what I need to sand and how much I need to sand. So you just gotta get used to the sandpapers you have and see which one works best for that little area. I mean, you don't want to grind out your detail, but you don't want to sit there forever with a fine sandpaper and take 20 hours to sand a spot. So you just gotta get used to what's gonna make your life easier. So this is really, really rough, but once I sand it down, I think I'm going to add a little bit of a, like, you know how there's like these armor things around here, so I think I might add a little bit of a armor thing going around. I'm not at least in the front, and in the back make it wrinkled. So I'm going to do the wrinkles in a second or two, but just want to make sure I get everything lined up. Hey JC, how's it going? No, that sucks. Well, hopefully your week goes okay. I'm doing good. Just plugging away on projects, trying to catch up. I actually I sent an email to Andy, kind of caught up a bit. I got to give him a call when I get a chance. Every time I'm ready to call him, something else comes up, so. Yeah, he said he was doing pretty good. A little bit of hiccups here and there with work, but I think everyone's going through that here and there. Yeah, every time I talk to him, it almost sounds like that ever since they moved, they've had more trouble than if he stayed where he was at. Alright, let's try and start messing with these wrinkles a bit. Where's that other brush? Oh, this one should work. Oh, I have this one here too. so to start the wrinkles, so what we'll do is we'll kind of go to the center, here, there, here. And once the Ave starts getting a little bit stiffer, I think I'm going to try to create sort of this stitching around the back of this. I don't know how well it'll turn out, but I think I can do it. So I was going to let this stiffen up a bit. I like the wrinkles. It's not too crazy, but at least it kind of helps. So the Aves is getting a little bit stiff now. So I got a couple projects to do tonight, but let's let that stiffen up a bit. Let me grab the other thing. So I set up another filler item. So I showed you guys last time I have this Wonder Woman statue that I'm converting into something else. I'm going to work on her chest later tonight too, but... So I don't have any of that 3M casting stuff, you know, that stuff you wrap around your arm or fingers for broken hands and bones and stuff. I ran out of it. And the guy I used to know that used to get it for me, I don't have his contact info anymore. If I could find it, I'll try and see if I can hit him up again. So since I don't have that stuff to do this, this is becoming a filler item. So it's going to be based off a Wonder Woman character. So I figured I might as well utilize the base. But until I'm going to roll out like a freeform air one day. And I'm gonna like make it like a pizza pie, freeform air, and I'm gonna lay the freeform air on top of this, and come down, and that way it'll give me a nice area to work on, because I don't want to make this too heavy. So now anytime I have extra A's, what I'm doing is I'm kind of just going around this area here, just to give me like a shelf to lay the freeform air on top of. The freeform air is strong, but her foot hits here and hits here, so there's nothing heavy going in here. So I don't have to worry about like this being super strong. So the freeform air can just lay over this and I can sculpt on top of it. Because like if you see her, when her feet hit, you're gonna have the foot here and you're gonna have the other foot here. So I don't have to worry about anything like her foot like laying on this. So what I did is I glued a piece of resin down here, and then I'm just going to throw A's around this to lock it in place. So it's always good to have a filler item so you don't waste stuff. Now, if she was going to lay on top of this, like heavy, I would not have her just like pieces of wood holding it up. That would just crush. I would build up a piece of A's to like wherever the foot or an item would lay on top of. But for this item, since we just have a foot here and here, all this doesn't matter. So it's just good to have a nice extra. You know what? Now that I have this A's here, let's kind of lock this in place a little bit better. The reason why I want to lock this in place is because if you're not careful when you're dremeling it, it could come off even though I just glued it. Because the other thing too is materials are skyrocketing in price, so I'm trying to do this in a way where it holds up the item, but it doesn't cost an arm and a leg anymore. Because stuff is just unreal. I ordered a gallon kit of mold and a gallon kit of resin, and it came out to $3.50 shipped. It used to be like $2.20 shipped. So yeah, Iceman, baking a cake. It's gonna be a Wonder Woman cake. Okay. But so what I'll do is once I layer up the magic sculpt on, I mean not the freeform air I'll start planning out how she's gonna sit, stay on here. And then once I get her positioned, figure it out. I might even push her this way instead. I'm not really sure which way I'm gonna have her. But yeah, so I'm gonna work on her chest a little bit later after we do some other items. I wanna just having all this filler stuff chopping up before the winter comes. So the less time I'm in the garage, the better. So I figured I'd start chopping and planning while I can. Alright, so we're gonna let the booty cure up a little bit longer. And I think what we can do is start working on her booty area. So hers is going to be different. The reason why I went crazy with Psylocke is because it was really chopped up. But this one's pretty much here. So we're just going to work on this area first and this area. And then next week we'll do the underwear lines. Because I want to do a little bit more detail with it. So it'll be easier if I just have two separate parts. And I also gotta set aside a day to mold and cast an item I'm working on. I need to make it I gotta try to make anywhere from 11 to 20 copies, depending on how much resin I can get out of it. So I want to get all those casted up before the cold weather hits too, because you can't really cast in cold weather. So I figured if I could cast everything up, and I could just have it in the garage, I can chop it later. And then before we're done tonight, I'm going to mix up some Magic Sculpt, and I'm going to set her into the base, because I actually chopped up the base here for her foot because it wasn't lining up correctly. So I put a new magnet here on the bottom, and we'll get that in the base and get her situated. As long as the glove doesn't... You bastard. Stop that. So, kind of a sculpting day. My friend met a John in Canada. He printed out the hands and stuff. So hopefully in another week or two, depending on shipping from Canada, I'll have the hands for the for that Wonder Woman, for the Harley, because I got hands that are gonna be like this to hold up the baton, and then I got the hands coming for what's her name, April O'Neil. Alright, so we don't need this much, but it should work out pretty well. Alright, so I might have to chop out some of this area in here, but I'll be able to sand this down, get it to where I need it, and then next week we can actually add the undies and try to make them tight, I guess. See if this comes up over here. Yeah. So we should just make this part. So I'm trying to follow the one artwork that I can't show on stream, where it's like really, really tight on her. But so you can kind of see how it would look. So what I'll do is, once it cures, I'll kind of buff it up, sand it down, and then we can add the wrinkles and everything there. If she doesn't, I don't think she hits the, yeah. Alright, I'm going to roll out some of this real quick, and I think I'm just going to put a layer here and make it a little bit stretchy. I think it'll work. I'll go roll this out real quick. I need a new piece of wax paper. Alright, so for this one, I don't think I'm going to make it too thin. Let's see what we can come up with. First shot, we'll just have another shot at it. So I'm thinking is cut this here, like so. Put this here like that. And I use the safety solvent to sort of take off the baby powder and also sort of make it tacky against the Aves primer. Gotta make sure I don't grab the back of her booty and mess that up too. So let's just kind of get that on there, and then let's cut it. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should we do smaller or keep it wider? I don't really... Raz, what was in some of the pictures? I kind of don't remember the front of it too well. And we can keep it like that. Smaller, so I can cut a little bit off of it, I guess, a little bit more. I don't have the artwork open in front of me for the front. I think I had one artwork open. Maybe I don't. Crap. Let me see something here, just so I know where I'm at. Yeah, it's kind of. Really don't have a lot of front pictures. Just the one that I have posted in the stream. Alright, so what I'm thinking of doing is we'll add a little. Get this cleaned up. Nah, it's alright. It's gonna be hidden mostly, so I'm not really too worried about it. So what I want to do is I want to sort of make it a little bit wrinkly. So let's see if I can pull this off. Worst case scenario, I'll try again. Let's just see what I'm doing here. trying to do this without making sure when I sand it I don't destroy it. Hey Butterfly, well that's good, at least you're busy with stuff. Hopefully the elections go well for you. Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me. For anyone who doesn't know, Archer Fine Transfers is actually going out of business. Their guy is going to retire. So if you guys are looking for any eye decals, now's your time to get them, because at the end of the year, that's it. They're done. So I actually ordered a whole bunch of myself. I got more coming to me because I figured next year, if anyone misses out, I can sell them my couple extra sheets since I'm a reseller. But if you guys go to Archer, you can grab yourself some eye decals while you can. These are the new eye decals where you don't have to actually cut around them. I think they just slide off from the circle, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's how they come off now. I forget. I haven't used the new ones. These are the newer ones. I should actually make a video this weekend on it to let everybody know. Because once they're done, they're done. And I figured I'd order a bunch for people who miss out and for myself because I love these things. Yeah, they got the anime decal eyes. I think I ordered 1 or 2 sets of those too. I can't remember. I also ordered stars for like Wonder Woman underwear. So I ordered some more stars too because those things make life so easy. But I don't blame him. The guy Woody from Archer is like, he's done, he's retiring, it's his time. So, more power to him. Yeah, they're gonna open up orders again pretty soon. I think it says like September or something. You know what it is ever since he announced it, he's getting bombarded with requests, so he had to sort of stop taking some orders to catch up. I just know a few people who are always like, oh, I'll order it later, and then all of a sudden it's later, and they're like, oh crap, I better get in on it. So, I think everyone's kind of scrambling to get them while they can. Alright, I think that works. A little light sanding, and I think that works for underwear. Got a little bit of wrinkle to it, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, I would sign up. I mean, if you're looking for them and you want to get yourself a set, you know, kind of now is the time to keep an eye out. Because like I said, I think he says once the end of the year is done, it's over. Alright, so since we got a little A's, I'm going to work on her chest. I think I need a little bit more. Wash my hands real quick. And that's if you guys want eye decals. If you've used them, if you want more, or if you haven't used them and you want to try them out, now's the time. Yeah, keep an eye out, because I don't think from what I understand, I think maybe at the end of the year he might shut off orders completely, or he might shut off orders at a certain date this year. I'm not really sure when, and then he's going to fulfill all the orders, and I think that's it. I'm not really entirely sure, but like I said, I ordered a little bit extra. I got some more coming to me just so I could probably put it up on my site for people who might have missed out next year. But I have to make sure I keep enough for myself because I want to run these for a couple more years. Unless somebody else comes up with it down the line, you know. I have this luck. Every time I find something I love, or something like a nice pair of sneakers, or a hat, or, you know, Archer fine detail eyes, or a clay, like literally a week or two later, or a month later, it's like discontinued. So I'm always finding stuff that just gets discontinued. I don't know why, but that's my luck. So for now on, like whenever I find something I love, I just buy like 3 or 4 of them right away. Alright, so this character that I'm working on, she's not really busty, but her shirt does close in the chest more. So this Wonder Woman's chest was actually spread out pretty far because of the piece they had in the center. But the character I'm working on doesn't really have that, so I have to close it up a bit more. Alright, so what I try to do, see if this is enough. No, so these two characters over here, this is the Harley Quinn that we're taking the Ghost in the Shell outfit and we're turning that into Harley Quinn over there. So basically that's kind of like my mock-up of the outfit. This right here is just a Wonder Woman statue I'm working on. I just felt like doing a couple of random items tonight. This one right here is just Wonder Woman. It's a item that somebody gave to me because they didn't want it anymore. All I did was pay for shipping. So I figured I'd add this into my garage of chopping things up. Get everything sort of ready for the winter. Because I hate being in the cold garage. I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand it. So I want to get a couple items ready for simple work. Plus with the weather getting semi-nice, it's kind of better to do that stuff now. And I like Fridays is like the streams and stuff, so basically just kind of doing these side things on Fridays. While during the week I do my commissions and everything else. I do. You'd be surprised. I don't show myself over to my left of me because it's commissions and stuff, but yeah, I have a lot of stuff just laying around. I have projects to last another 3-4 years probably of side stuff. Filler stuff, side stuff to keep me going. Because if I was just focusing on one thing every day, I would never get anything done. So it's always good to have a shitload of stuff in the garage and on my shelf. I used to have crazy parts laying around, but all that stuff dried up. All the parts and the damaged stuff on eBay, that's kind of like gone. Which is good. I don't have all these Tupperware containers anymore of body parts. Heloc? Oh, sorry, I can't see. Too far away. This is a safety solvent. Aves safety solvent. So it's specifically made for Aves. You can buy it from their website. Water destroys Aves. This makes your Aves nice and soft. It makes it like butter. You smooth it out and it doesn't dry up your Aves. JC, is the kit nice and clean, or is it like pretty crappy? Yeah, that's a shitty cast then. That's not like a good casting. So if you got it from some guy on eBay, like in another country or something, it's yeah, those are pretty poor. Yeah, you got one of those crappier ones. Yeah, mess around with it. I mean, a kit is a kit. Just because it's crappy doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it takes more work to get it ready for paint. That's all. So it's not like it's gonna do anything on it. It just takes more time to fix the holes, prep it up, get it clean. That's all. Well, the better, any better quality resin kit won't have a lot of flashing, won't have a lot of holes in them. You know, to be a lot cleaner. I mean, every kit you gotta prep. But if you're getting the ones that got crazy amounts of holes in them, then yeah, it's Now, pure white just means that they didn't put a color in there. All resin is actually white. Well, unless you get that yellow resin. The yellow resin is just a different color company. But most resin is white. Like the smooth on resin is white. I just put a dot of like black dye in there to turn it gray. Yeah, the reason why the other site is taking so long is it's better quality and they're pumping out a lot of them. So the one you got on eBay is just, you know, somebody who slapped it together and got it out the door. I mean, the resin could be a little bit different. It might be like a different quality resin, so you have to get used to it, but it's doable. You just gotta chop it, break it, do whatever you need to do, and make it work. Alright, so that chest is looking way better than what I was trying to do in the beginning. The main thing I gotta focus on is the cleavage and up here. All this underneath is going to have a shirt covering it, so I'm not worried about the bottom parts as much, as long as the center looks good. So after I prime it, what I'll probably do is when I sand it down, I'll probably put some of my basic putty in here and seam up that line there a bit. So that should look pretty decent. Like I said, the character's not super busty, so I'm going to be sanding some of this down. The character, I'm not saying who it is just yet. It's going to be one of those characters that either I just post it's just a side surprise, or I'll paint it up on a Picardo stream. Because I'm still not 100% sure if I'm going to keep it the character I have in mind, but I just want to kind of get it going there. It was a Wonder Woman statue, if that's what you want to know. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Got the different angles. Yeah, so I got the right arm coming from Metajon in Canada, and then I'll show you the head I'm using for it though. So I really wasn't a fan of the Wonder Woman head that came with the statue, but I had this Poison Ivy head. So I'm going to use this Poison Ivy head for it. It's I know that it looks too small right now on the neck, but it'll be up a little higher. So I think it'll look pretty cool when done. First time I'm ever taking a Poison Ivy head and using it for a different statue. So it's got to be about that high off the neck, I think. Something like that. So I had to chop all the back of this just to sort of fit on the back of her back. But I think just a little higher and it should work out pretty well. Alright, so got some eaves. Now her belt was a nightmare to chop up because of the way this arm was in the way. So I ended up just kind of going ham on her, and I figured I'd just throw some eaves in here. And then when I'm in the garage next time, I can just sand it, clean it up. The character does have a belt, but not the same one Wonder Woman had, of course. I find it's always easier to sometimes chop the area up and then just add eaves and sand it down. You're sitting there trying to sand polystone is just a pain in the ass. Ow. Finger in the cup. Yeah, so it's a little bit messy in the middle there, but like I said, once it cures up and I take some of my what do you call it, my Tamiya putty, this will kind of smush it in there, and I'll kind of clean it up and smooth it down, and that should work out pretty well. But yeah, that looks way better than what was there. Just takes a few more passes with sanding and priming, and it should work. Cool. So, before we get back to Psylocke, use this ease and lock this in place. Nothing would suck more than to Dremel this and then all of a sudden it just slides when I put her on there. So I always like to make sure everything is secured. So that locks that in pretty well. Okay, so now onto, this is probably toughened up a little bit where it should work now. Now there's no way I'm going to actually be able to match this 100% these wrinkles, but I'm going to try and come up with it as close as I can. So the way they sculpted it is they had a little bit of a line, so it would sort of come like here, right? And then sort of come there, like so. It's kind of hard to match someone else's sculpt. And then what we'll do is we'll do the same thing going downwards. some more scams. Getting these scam calls non-stop. Hey, what's up, Jacob? Busy week. Busy week. Hopefully yours is going well. Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, I noticed that everyone sort of has the same ringer, but I just been getting these scam calls non-stop, and I don't know where they're coming from, like Washington D.C. and stuff. And even though I have them blocked, they still ring. It's a pain in the ass. Alright, so since the A is just getting tougher, it's easier to sort of do this. So if you ever wanted to do something like this, kind of give it some time to cure. Actually, the one time I did answer, it was all about voting and politics shit. So I told the guy on the phone, aliens rule the world, and I said, leave me alone. He probably was like, that guy's nuts. But they keep calling. Yeah, that's how I get them to leave me alone. But I also been getting a lot of in New Jersey realtors asking me if I want to sell my house, and it's been crazy with those calls too. So I did tell one realtor, I said I'll sell my house for $5 million. I said if you can't get me $5 million, you're not worth me talking to. And she was like, what? I'm like, I can't deal with you if you're not going to get me that kind of money. So these sort of have these wrinkles. So let's see if we can sort of create these wrinkles a little bit. Some of it's gonna get sanded down. I'm trying to copy some of this like stuff here. So this is gonna get sanded down, so it won't look as much. And this is kind of like the first time I'm trying to copy the artwork, you know. So it should come together when it's done. It was a 3D sculpt, so I have a habit of sort of over sculpting sometimes, and then when I sand it down, it kind of tones it down a bit. Yeah, see, they have these like wrinkles around here and stuff, so I'm trying to sort of capture it. But it's kind of tough. And no, you can ask away. Doesn't bother me. Sometimes it takes me a few tries to get that sort of match it or find a way to match it. JC, I am on Rumble, and if Rumble starts to get a little bit better, I think I might stream more on Rumble. Only because YouTube, I've been getting hit with so many copyright strikes lately on music. And all the music is royalty free, but it's like scams. So, like, YouTube is becoming a nightmare with that stuff. Now, I don't know all the rules yet on Rumble, but I do have an account on Rumble. And every time I upload to YouTube, it automatically uploads to Rumble. But I'm not really sure on their music and stuff yet, so when I look into it more, I'll let you guys know. I mean, Rumble's new, but it seems to be getting better and better and better, so. Yeah, YouTube definitely needs competition. Like every morning for the past 2 weeks, I wake up and my inbox is 3 videos from like, I don't know, like years ago are getting hit with copyright strikes. And they're all royalty-free music, and I gave credit in the videos. Yeah, Rumble's new, but they're building it from the ground up. I honestly think Rumble's going to be like the platform of the future now, honestly. A lot of top people are moving to it. Yeah, that's why I like Picardo. I could play any music I want, and I actually get more music that I like, just helps me work, you know, whatever I feel like listening to that day. But YouTube, now there's a lot of music out there that's really good that you could play on YouTube, but like to pay for like a monthly fee. So the way it works is there's a lot of platforms out there that you can actually pay for a monthly fee for their music. So I can play their music as long as I'm paying their fee every month. The minute I stop paying that fee, they copyright strike all your videos that have that music on it. You don't get to keep it though, you know? So that's why I haven't paid for a monthly fee for any of those types of sites yet. The only music I'm using now is this guy's Patreon, where you can actually use it, and as long as you're paying on the Patreon, he doesn't really strike you even if you leave his Patreon, you know? There is music you can buy the royalty from. There's a lot of good music out there, but when I was first looking at it, it was like $11 to $15 a song. Now they're almost like $35 a song. Yeah, I wish I had a better option, but it's not like I'm a big YouTuber where you're making like $5,000 a month on YouTube where you can afford all that stuff, you know? I make, like on my YouTube videos probably a couple pennies a month. I don't know at this point. Who the hell knows what I'm making anymore? It's gotten to become a pain in the ass, actually, to tell you the truth. And then any of the old companies that you might have used music from, if they went out of business, they sell all their rights to another company, and then that company strikes you. You know, it sucks. It really does. There's options, but unless you're a top streamer or you're a top YouTuber and you're making money, you can commission people to make you a song for your rights, you know, your own music, but then you're talking about like a couple K a song. Well, a lot of the other sites that were coming up, every time they were becoming really popular, it's Stripe, which is like the biggest banking, it's like the only banking system in the world. It goes Stripe and it goes like Visa, MasterCard and all that stuff. They just defund everybody. So they don't want competition, that's the problem. Yeah, YouTube is a pain. If you're looking to make money and you want to grow, it's kind of a hassle. If you're just doing it for fun, it's okay. I use it for basically for advertising. You know, like this is kind of what I'm doing to advertise my business, and it's kind of like a perk. But and the way their algorithm works now too, it's you're never going to get found unless you do some kind of crazy drama thing, or if you do some kind of political thing, or the algorithm really is bad for lower YouTube people, because there's a lot of channels I watch out there that are great, but they only have like 1,000 subscribers, 2,000 subscribers, you know. Yeah, that's it. There's too much going on. It's really, I miss the old days of YouTube. The old days were fun. You get to say what you want, do what you want. You know, if you didn't like a channel, you just moved on. But now, and they changed the rule now too. You got to hit 1,000 subs before you can even get monetized. The old day when the internet was the wild, wild west, when I was a kid, was when it was fun. Now, people didn't really care. People just like, yeah, whatever. You're an asshole, whatever. Now, forget it. Well, did you hear what's going on with Twitch? So if you're a top streamer, you get a 70-30 split. Means you get 70 and Twitch would get 30. If you're a lower streamer, you get a 50-50 split. But now what they're doing is they're changing their contracts. Everyone's going to get a 50-50, and you're going to get like 5 ads before your video starts, and then you're going to get ads during your live streaming in Twitch. So the way people are saying it is, if you want to go into a channel and see what this person's about, but you got to go through 4 ads. Like, you're like, oh, well, screw it. I'd rather just go to the person I know on Twitch. Why try to watch a little guy when I have to sit through like 4 ads? So, supposedly Twitch isn't like, you know, so on YouTube, it's a 70-30 split. So if you're doing super chats or you're getting advertising, it's a 70-30 split. But on Twitch, it's going to be a 50-50 now. I don't know. So that's why I kind of like where Rumble's going, because Rumble might be the future. So yeah, you know, I mean, you could put up an ad blocker and you could do all that stuff. It does suck, but also, you know, these people also need to make a living, or they want to make a living, so I can't fault people for doing it. I mean, I do it too on my videos, but it just helps me with a little extra income, not much. And actually, a couple channels I do watch anyway, they're actually moving to Rumble, or either they started Rumble accounts, so I'm actually watching their stuff on Rumble now, more and more. So yeah, Rumble's new. Their interface isn't as good. It's going to be a while before they're amazing. But then that's how all these companies start out. So I think a lot of people might be like, "Oh, well, YouTube's already good. I'm not going to deal with this crap." But for me, I'll try anything and give it time. As far as Picardo, no. Basically, Picardo is like strictly artwork. So basically, you just stream, do your artwork. Whether if it's an adult theme, you just got to put on like adult theme for Picardo, and just so as far as making money on Picardo, I don't think there's an option for that. I think it's more just like donations or something. I'm not really sure about Picardo too much. But I like Picardo because I could just sit there and play my own music, you know. Honestly, if more people on YouTube signed up for my Picardo and they wanted to see me stream on there more, I would do it. But a lot of people, I think, are just so comfortable with YouTube, they just don't want to, you know, move on. Hey, what's up, Terrell? Not much, just sitting here working, talking about streaming services, Rumble, Picardo, stuff like that. Yeah, but if you notice what YouTube, if you really look at YouTube, what it's becoming, YouTube is becoming the new cable network. They're pushing away lower streamers or lower YouTube channels, and they're pumping up late night talk shows, news media outlets, like movie trailers. So they're putting that ahead in the algorithm compared to like people like me or anybody else that does stuff. So they want to become the new cable, and that's kind of where YouTube is going. So honestly, in a few years it won't even be YouTube, it's going to be like cable tube. Because I would say every 4 months now, like channels I watch on YouTube get kicked off. Like one day I'll be on there and then all of a sudden they're just like gone. Like, do you guys know, you ever heard of Coast to Coast AM? It's like all about like aliens and conspiracies and like spirituality stuff. And people just call in and they talk about it. It's like a AM talk show. One day I went on YouTube and they were just gone. And I think what happened is YouTube didn't like one or two of their videos and kicked them off. And they've been there for like years. They're not talking about anything other than just like alien stuff. So stuff like that keeps happening and it's just annoying. Yeah, so if one day I'm gone and you guys wonder where the hell I'm at, that's probably because I got kicked off. So I do have the Rumble account, and I do have Picardo, so... Oh, Hangerbird, you got that stuff? Good. Yeah, that told you, that stuff is really, really great. Good stuff to work with. Yeah, they just they don't help the small channels anymore. It's all about late night talk shows, news media outlets, promoting movies. No more the little guys not allowed to review movies or shows anymore. It's all corporations. So that's where we're at. Lacquer paint, I use the Spaztec lacquers. That's about it. I'm not a fan of enamels and lacquers only because they really clog up my airbrushes and they're a pain in the ass. And I feel I'm not able to blend them like I can with acrylics. But they are more durable, of course. And the other thing too is I can't handle the fumes. Lacquers and enamels, those fumes, they get to me if I spray them through the airbrush. So lacquers are not really my thing too much. My paint booth does pretty well. It takes out all the fumes and the dust in the studio. I mean, it pumps all that stuff, all those fumes out into the garage, but I always have the door open, you know? So I have 2 blowers in there, and it does pretty well. Like, if I spray my primer in it, it does take out the fumes pretty well, so I'm not worried about the primer. So yeah, I don't have really a problem with my booth. It's just that even though you spray primer in the booth and it gets the fumes out and it gets the dust out, but when you still turn off the booth, you still get that smell from the primer on your item. So it still lingers in the studio. That's why I like to prime everything in the garage versus using enamels and primer in my studio. Lacquer and enamels are kind of almost similar. They're not, they're just kind of like, more like, kind of like, just heavier duty paints. It's just that you gotta use thinner on them through an airbrush. They're very potent in smell. They're more durable, but I don't know, it's just not for me. Alright, I think we did pretty good on her booty today. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of create like a cloth here and then kind of do a like armor up around there. Maybe like a belt or something. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just cover it with the sash. But I got to clean this up in here next. But I like that. That worked out pretty well. I got to clean up down in here too. So I'm going to set up her on the base now. So let me clean out my paintbrushes. You're gonna build another booth. Did you see my booth build-up, paint-up video? If you get those blowers and you build a good booth, you'd be fine. Now, I went overboard with my booth with 2 blowers, but I really wanted to make sure I didn't get any dust in my studio. I wanted 2 blowers, one at the bottom, one up top, because when I was when I had that older booth where it was just sucking the dust at the bottom, it's still all the dust up top was going everywhere. So that's why I went overboard. But those blowers that I got, those Granger blowers. Hold on, I'll find the video for you. Like I said, I went overboard with my booth, but the thing is, a lot of the statues I've been working on are really goddamn big. So I wanted 2 blowers in there versus just 1 blower with a small booth. So if you don't work on big stuff, 1 blower would be fine. Alright, let's see. I think this is it. So that's my booth video. The second one is my priming station in the garage. So I have 2 booths I built. One for priming in the garage and one for painting in the studio. So basically, you know, you could run it out the window. Like if you wanted to open up a window and create like a box and have a tube going to the box to your window and blows it out the window. I know some people who've done it in like the back of a house where they drilled a hole through the wall and they have a vent system going outside the back of your house. More or less, you just felt, the reason why I did it to the garage is because I didn't want to drill in my house. And I can't put it through the window because the window where I have my booth, it's like you have my house, you have my studio, and then you have my garage. So there's like a C here. So what happens is I get a whirlwind of wind here, and it always blows back into the window. So if I put my, if I ran a thing out to the window, it would just blow back into the house. But basically, if you get a nice good tubing, you know, and you run it somewhere nice, and it doesn't, you don't have any problems, you should be good. Some people have 1 blower, some people have small blowers, but yeah, you could go crazy, Terrell. You can add a lot of good stuff to it, you know. All I know is the blowers that I got, because I also link it in the video of the parts and everything. The longer your tubing from your blower to your vent system to wherever it goes outside, you'll get a static buildup, like electricity static buildup. So it can't be too long. So we're talking like, you know, 50 feet or something. But mine's only like 8 foot out to the garage, so mine does perfectly fine. Now I added a rolled charcoal paper to mine because I wanted to not burn out my filters as fast. So you'll see it in the video. I bought charcoal paper that I roll down, and that just helps me filter a lot of that dust without destroying my filters, because those filters get expensive. But 1 roll of charcoal paper is like, I don't know, it was like 70 bucks, 80 bucks. Yeah, you should be fine with that, you know. So like if you do one blower, you'll be fine. If you do two blowers, you're fine. You know, it's up to you how you want to build it. You know, are you working on small statues? Are you working on 1/4 statues? You know, but a good booth makes a world of difference. Trust me. Because say you're painting up Harley Quinn, right? So if you don't have a booth and you're painting her up, what happens is you get a lot of dust stuck in between her legs. And then when you're spraying paint in there, it starts caking up and it becomes like crusty. When you have all the booth taking all that dust out, you don't have to worry about the buildup going underneath in certain crevices. So a booth will make a world of a difference. Now you can design it with any kind of filter you want. So I made mine 24 by 24 by 1 inch, I think it was, or 24 by 14 or something, I forget. So this way at Home Depot I just order a big bulk every once in a while. Yeah, so you know, like you could see what the way you look at the way I built mine, and then you probably could come up with something like that or better. Like after I built mine up, and I've been working on it for like 3 years now or 2 years, there's a lot of things I would do different. But I'm so happy with what I made. The blowers are not that loud. They're not as bad as you would think, you know. I think if, see I used just like plywood. So I think if I really would do another booth, I would have bought that plastic sheets. You know those like at Home Depot they have those white fake wood looking stuff for like, you know, the corners of your houses, you know, where they put those like you cut them and stuff. They're really big, huge sheets like plywood, but they're like $150 a sheet or more or something. I would have used those instead, but if you want to just do plywood, plywood's fine. But when I was building mine, it just went, I was just about finishing it, and then we had the lockdowns, and then once the lockdowns hit, all the wood skyrocketed, so, but now things might be a little bit better. I should have built one years ago. I don't know why I waited. I thought that stupid autograph booth I had was doing fine, but once I got that better booth, man, whew, things got way cleaner. I hardly have as much dust in the studio. My statues are not like dirty, you know, with extra dust. The filters work good. Alright, so we're gonna set up her foot on the base. Now, her foot did not line up to this circle here, so I had to take out this magnet. And all this was hitting her foot here. So this is Magic Sculpt, and we're gonna use some saran wrap. I'll show you guys how I can set her up without making my life a living hell. Because this is already keyed and this key works out fine. My Magic Sculpt is so old now, it's tough as hell, but it should work for what we're doing. Basically, we take the Magic Sculpt, shove it down in here. Like I said, I don't think I'm buying Magic Sculpt anymore. It just goes bad on me, and I use A's for everything now, so... So what we do, let's get the camera down a bit, if we can. Alright, put this over here. Alright, so, without touching her booty, just to test her out, what we do is we take her foot and we see where we're pressing on here. So we lift it up and we've hardly pressed anything. So we need to add a little bit more. Now she actually wobbles, so I have to use some tape to hold her up. So I'll show you what we're going to do with that. So should have put some water on her foot. Oh well. So if you look, see how she sort of wobbles? I want her to be this way a little bit, so I'm going to use tape to pull her down. But before we do that, just want to double check everything. I don't want her foot to be like sunken into it too much. I want some support in the back of it. I think this is like snow or rocks or something. I forget. Alright, so we should be good on that front. Yeah, comfort food, that's not bad. So we'll put our magnet there. And then what we're going to do is see where the magnet lines up. Alright, so that's where the magnet is going to line up. So, stuff is getting tacky. So let's take our marker, and this is going to let me know that the black side is the side that goes down. Just let that dry a minute or two. Alright, so you see we sort of have an impression of the foot, but what it is, it's very watery at the moment. So let me grab some baby powder. Okay, so before I pull out the saran wrap, we have baby powder too. Now, I don't like using baby powder in here in the studio too much, but I'm not putting a lot on, so it's going to be fine. So we have that black marker part there. So what we do is we take this and we shove this down into that hole there, like so, and then take a older piece. Now, sometimes if you put a magnet in there, right, and you put the foot on with some saran wrap and then you pull it up the next day, the magnet might come out. So what I like to do is sort of lock it into place a bit more. Sort of just kind of get some Magic Sculpt or A's around the edge. And that should be enough when I press it there that it's going to stay. So get our tape. So I'm going to have a piece of tape. I'm trying to do this in camera, so bear with me. Usually I do this on the other table. So what I like to do is take a piece of tape, put this underneath there. So this way I can pull her this way with the tape. These magnets, all my magnets I ever use in any of my videos are N52. N52 are the strongest magnets that you should get. N50 sucks, N40s are horrible. 52 are the ones you want. Alright, so we got the magnet on there. Take some putty some baby powder. Doesn't have to be a lot. Take some saran wrap. Just put some saran wrap right there. Now, when you go to put this in the item, you got to start to go fast, because if you try to go slow, what'll happen is the magnet's going to pull up on you, right? So there's a couple ways of doing it too. You can actually use like a piece of wood. You don't want to use a piece of metal to hold it down. So we get our foot over here like so. Kind of get it in and get down there pretty fast. Alright. Then we can smush the Magnet Sculpt around the foot a little bit. Maybe behind her. Doesn't have to go crazy. So she can wobble this way, so what we do is we take our tape and we pull her up this way. And I'll pull it back for you so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Alright? So, now, this is going to hold her foot that way, and it's going to be magnetized. So, by 8 hours or tomorrow, I pull the tape off, right? And then I pull that up, and the saran wrap will come right off of everything, and we don't have to worry about her sticking to the bottom at all. So you can play with this, you can push this around, make sure it's not locking. 'Cause you know how, like, you know, your shoes, these shoes have a little bit of a lip. You don't want that the Mag Sculptor A's to lock into that lip either. So turn it around, make sure we're looking good. Alright. Because saran wrap won't really stick to it. Even if it sticks to it a little bit, you can pry it off no problem. And then the tape didn't hold, you know, didn't lock into any of this stuff here. And if you want to just, yeah, there was a magnet in her foot already from the factory. That's why I put a magnet in the base. Now, even if there wasn't a magnet in her foot, I would have put a magnet in there first, and I would have done this. So this foot is keyed, this foot has a magnet in it. And then I usually let something like this sit overnight, and then the next day just pull off the tape, pop it up, pull off the saran wrap, blow out this, the baby powder, and then I get to clean up the rest of it. And then that's how I set up a magnet like that. Now you can, if you don't want to do it that way, because I had to rekey the foot, like say there's a spot already there for the foot, you can set up an area with like a hole, and you can glue in a magnet. But that's another type of a setup. So this is what I'm doing for this one. You just always make sure you put the magnets in the correct way. Don't try and always mark them, always remember, because nothing sucks more than if you, say you glue in the magnet there and you have your item sitting over here, and the next day you go to put the item on there and you put the magnet in wrong, then you got to go in there and chop it all up. I made that mistake way too many times in the past. Alright, so since we got a little bit of Magic Sculpt, gonna throw that over here and lock this into place. Reason why I'm covering this around the edges is because this was layered 3 times with it was a 1 layer of resin, then another layer, and then another layer. And sometimes when you do that, those layers snap and break. Because my friend actually was using this as a filler resin thing. So I just kind of want to make sure this is locked pretty well. Yeah, so it's getting there. Oh, glad you did, Hanger. Just that's what the whole thing's about. Just sharing all the information. Alright, so I think that's it for today. Got a lot done, more than I was thought I would, which is good. But, so, Psylocke is getting there. A little bit more to go on that. For Harley, next week we'll work on the undies in the back. And hopefully we'll have a definitive vote on what we're going to do with the center. I'll make another post this weekend on Sunday just to double check with everybody, and then we can start planning all this other stuff out. We'll probably start working on that if it's going to be open. I'll start cutting up pieces of metal for doing the straps and everything else, and then we can just start plugging away on that. Alright, so I'm tapped out for today, but I had fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping by, and if everything goes well, maybe next week I'll do some Picardos as well. So you guys have a good weekend.